Okay, lovely family, we are once again here with our cultural anthropologist, our divine priest, our elder, our father, Osofo Kofiche Ahaji. We are here to talk about a lot of things, but today we will focus on the importance of the spirit, what we call in Kemet or Meduneta as Ka, in Ga as Kla, in Tree as Okra, and so forth. So, the ball is in your court. Toby, what is the Ka?
Greetings to everybody who is interested in discovering him or herself. Now, before answering the question of what constitutes the car, we must know that we have a physical body. We have the other part of the body which is not physical. Some decide to call that part the spiritual. In ancient land of Kemet, we talk of the Ka. Now when you come down to Eveland here, we are talking of Ka. Then we say, Azizan, nye kato kameblan Azizan. Simply meaning that the dwarf is the owner of the Ka, which some decide to call the alter ego, the other self which you do not see. So, the dwarf being the owner of that other self, it cannot be restricted to any particular place. It can manifest here and manifest anywhere else at its own pleasure. So the Ka is that aspect of being which is not restricted to any physical location. Well, that simply explains what constitutes the Ka. You will go across and into the place called Saudi Arabia, and you have the bed of the Ka. They say Kaaba, the Kaaba. The Ka was taken from the Nile Valley. All that valley our ancestors knew as the Sudan Valley. Sudan, as you know, is the name of the river the Greeks decided to change to be the Nile. But Sudan reflects the nature of that water body, which meanders like a snake. So Dan is snake. Sudan means the divine snake. Then you have the Jordan. When you are faced with difficulty, you invoke the snake. That is Jordan. Now you look at this Christian religious doctrine, and they tell you that Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist in that river known as Jordan. Jordan, not Jordan. J just came into the alphabet not quite long ago. Even the place they called Jerusalem is not Jerusalem, it's Jerusalem. Yeah. But they are telling you that there was the life, there was understanding, there was development before the advent of the white man.
Oh, go on. Go on. Go on.
So, we have so many things which have been adulterated. We don't even know where our ancestors came from. We have been dependent upon the history presented by outsiders of ourselves. If you go to school and you are doing physics, you are taught about Archimedes' principle, you are taught about the Pythagorean theorem, you are taught all these ones. But are they the correct things? Archimedes' principle was supposed to have been a principle of flotation invented by a Greek man named Archimedes. But if you should go to any of our communities living along water bodies, you will see that they use that principle without even having gone to school. They use the principle in going on the water bodies. They go and bring the fish that we supposed to be intellectuals eat. But they don't know anything about that principle. What does that imply? It implies that that principle was there before Archimedes was born. You need not go to school to go and learn that principle. You go to the Accra beach, you see the people, they go fishing. They have not studied the ABC of Archimedes. Now, another example you will find is that of the Pythagorean theorem, which was supposed to have been invented by some Greek man named Pythagoras. And Pythagoras was supposed to have used Greek mathematics to calculate the area of a triangle. But when you look at what we call the pyramids today, you will realize that that theorem was used in building those stone edifices which have outlived even those who built it. How did they do that? And they used that theorem attributed to Pythagoras in building the pyramid. And the pyramid is telling you the 4 cardinal points of the world. And those are some of the distortions. Even in the area of philosophy, the Greeks credit themselves. When you come to the area of the belief system, which is the ultimate of every human being, what do you believe in? You must believe in something. We have been told that when the Creator created humanity, the Creator gave humanity that breath of life. That breath of life is the breath which we otherwise will call a car. That breath, when it leaves the physical body, that physical body is supposed to have died. But that breath leaves the physical body, but still exists. And you see that in the Ebe language, we have the sixth Afan. Afan, you know, to be symbolic because you have the physical body, which is half, and you have the other body, which is the other half. So when these two halves come together, you have the whole. You have darkness and you have light. When you want to know what is there in the darkness, then that is the knowledge system. You have to go behind the physical self to know. And with that knowledge, you can meander your way through life. That is Afa. So philosophically, you have half knowledge, which represents the daytime where you can see anything. And you have the other knowledge, which is the darkness. You cannot get that knowledge in the darkness unless you have a key which will open the door to that dark secret system. And that darkness is the other side of Afa. You have the sun giving you light during the day, and you might have the moon giving you light during the night. All that one is telling you that philosophically you have two halves coming together to make one. That is the simple explanation I can give.
So, what is the importance of evoking the car after one person has passed on? Like when I was growing up in La, if someone passed on, or a car knocks someone, or the person dies mysteriously, the person's car will be invoked to find out, what happened. If it is his own wish or his karma, or, But these days, we don't do that. Is it causing something bad in our families?
Like I did explain earlier, we have the physical and we have the spiritual. We have the day and we have the night. Now, when that element known as death, when it is the spirit which leaves the physical body, then that physical body is supposed to be dead. But that spiritual is going on, it doesn't die. So what do? When you go and invoke that person, the spirit is still going around, you call the person and he comes to tell you, this is what has happened to me. That's why I left that body. I am still continuing my journey. If that journey will take him somewhere else, you can go and walk a distance and you go and meet somebody who is supposed to be dead. Like we have a scenario in this country, a part of this country called Asaman Kese. What does it mean? It means that there is a big ghost. Saman
Kese.
Yeah. Then you have Osaman Ba. When you go down to Kita area, there is a place called Molivima, the small ghost. The area for the small ghost.
Wow.
So the ghosts, we call them ghosts. But it is only when that spirit being enters a body that they say that body is alive. When it leaves that body, they say that body is dead. So when you want to know yourself, or you want to know what has happened to some self, you have to call that other self, which left that physical body. And that other self will tell you what happened. If you want to know, then you have to go that way and call the person. And the person comes out to tell you, this is what has happened to me. Maybe it is this person who did this to me. There are scenarios where a person passes on, then through some fatal means, that person is giving a knife to revenge. And that person will take the revenge to the doorstep of whoever caused it to depart this world. There was a scenario where some people went and killed, and they thought they had run away. But when the family of the deceased called him, he told them that this person or that person, they were involved in my death. So all you can do, give me a knife, and I will avenge. A knife was given, and the people did run away from this country and took refuge in Togo. But then, this person who had been killed brutally carried the knife, and he will not manifest to anybody. He will pass by anybody guarding any place. Then he will come to you. Say, yes, you killed me. Now is your time. Then you will have to start running.
Wow.
You will run and run and run. By the time you reach the end of your running, you reach some distant place where you think that